xTool have sent me this infrared laser module to fit onto my xTool S1 laser that I've got out in my workshop. They sent me this for free to do the review, but they're not paying me to do this review. It's a very quick unboxing. So they've sent some sample bits of jewellery to test it on, to engrave, and an Allen key and a spare set of screws, fixing screws. Very nicely made laser unit, all metal construction, nice gold anodised finish. All the xTool stuff is always well polished, very nice, and always well packaged. I'm not really into multi-use machines where you have to swap bits over. I tend to like having a separate machine for each job, but with this I have to say it proved to be so simple to change over the laser units that I will use both laser heads, the one that's on there, the 40 watt diode laser, and this new IR module. Here I am out in the workshop. My laser's looking a bit dusty. First thing to do is pull off the magnetic focusing probe and unplug the cable and the air assist. Just using one of the xTool tools to undo the two fixing screws. Put those to one side because we'll need those again in a minute. And then it simply lifts off. So we lift out the existing 40 watt diode laser, and it's a straight swap in. So we put in the new 2 watt infrared laser, put the screws back in, all in reverse order, just the same, fit the air assist and the cables, and refit the probe that measures the depth so you get the focus correct. These infrared laser modules are really meant for engraving metal and some plastics. The ordinary diode lasers will not really touch most metals, whereas an infrared laser is very good at engraving metal. This really adds a new dimension to my making. I do a fair bit of metal working, little bits and pieces that I make, and it's really nice to be able to mark them. You could even mark out bits that you're going to cut out, use the laser to mark out. There we are, just attaching the focusing probe. It's time to switch it on. It's all working. So we're going to test it out on this dog tag, stainless steel dog tag. Just a name disc for a dog's collar. We can go into xTool Creative Space, and they've got a load of different settings for different products. So I'm just selecting a stainless steel disc. Then just getting the alignment right. And then getting ready to focus it. Make sure the laser's set at the correct height. We can then go back into xTool Creative Space, the software, and it will process the image and tell you how long it's going to take, and we can start the engraving process. You will need to push the button on the front of your S1 to actually physically start it. Shut down the lid or nothing will happen, and away it goes. Very neat unit, the S1. Nicely contained, much safer that way. That's the first job done. I did this a couple of times and messed about with settings, but as you can see, it gives a really good engraving on that stainless steel. Really definite. I was very pleased with that. Now for some brass. I've got this brass offcut. It's just an old scrap I had in the workshop just to experiment on. So Doing my logo again. Focusing. So you can see it focuses down onto the brass and then goes back to its reference point at the back. I did this a few times, different settings, but you can see in the end I actually got quite a deep engraving there. It's quite smooth, the lighter one, but that one has actual ridges, so there is a little bit of depth to it. Now, time to try some of this jewellery. I did this design entirely in the xTool software, just for my daughter, Mia. And if we go into the product list or the materials list, they actually list this sample piece. So I think I just used their settings for this. But like I say, sometimes you will need to modify them. There we are, making sure that it's all aligned. You can mark out the workspace and then set it to go. Shut down the lid. And this was quite a quick engraving, it didn't take long. But it gave a really neat, clear engraving. Really good. This is actual speed, this isn't speeded up. You can see the little sparks produced. Lift up the lid. And there it is. Mia was absolutely delighted with this, really pleased with it. And I also tried out another one of the little gold discs that they supplied. This is sort of before and after. This is a piece of old 3D print. This is ASA filament. So I used this just to test engraving plastic. And that came out very, very well as well. Really pleased. And a pen lid. But then I thought I would try one of my creations. This is a part I'd made out of aluminium or aluminum, depending on where you are. So here we are, just focusing to the new thickness. And then we're going to mark out the workspace, the work area. So I'm selecting circle. You then have to manually position 3 points on the perimeter of your workpiece, and the software will work out the circle. You can then make sure that your engraving is perfectly lined up. So here I am, manually moving the laser head around to 3 different points on the perimeter, and then we set it going. It is in action. All done. I was absolutely blown away with this. This will be so useful to me for marking out all sorts of things. Here I am out in my workshop. This is the xTool S1 laser engraver and cutter. And this is the xTool 2-watt infrared laser unit that fits this. This was very kindly sent to me by xTool to do a video review. They're not paying me to do this review. It's a brilliant addition to this, and in fact you can purchase this with this included, and it's a bit of a no-brainer really, because it greatly increases the versatility of your S1 laser. This allows you to engrave metal and some plastics. Very quick to install, just takes a couple of minutes to swap the laser heads over, and once it's connected xTool Creative Space will automatically know that this is on your laser and will change the settings accordingly. It will give you some parameters for different materials, but I would recommend you experiment and work out what works for you. You might need to up the power level or slow down the speed or make several passes to achieve the result you want. This is really for superficial engraving on metal. It does a great job of doing that. It's not for deep engraving. It would take you far too long because it's only 2 watts. You really need a sort of a fibre laser if you want to do deep engraving into metal. But this is brilliant, and as I say, bit of a no-brainer really. Massively increases the versatility of the S1, which is already a very versatile laser engraver. Many thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out any links in the description, and hopefully I'll be back soon with another video. Thanks again, folks.